10 minutes of the funniest and wildest oversells in WWE history. I love these videos, bro. They're always funny. And on top of it, it just reminds us as wrestling fans that wrestling is meant to be entertaining. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be an escape. But for some reason, people just take it way too seriously and remove all of that. So what we're going to do today, we're going to have a little bit of fun, try to restore that feeling. And before we get into it, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it.
In wrestling, selling a move can make or break a moment, but sometimes wrestlers don't just sell, they oversell so hard it becomes legendary. From gravity-defying flips to flat-out comedy performances, today we're diving into the most hilarious, outrageous, and unforgettable oversells in wrestling history. Some were accidents, some were pure trolling, but all of them certified gold. Let's get into it. Rick Rude didn't just oversell an atomic drop once, he made it a full tradition. Every single time he took that move, Rude reacted like he just sat on a landmine. Rick Rude turned taking an atomic drop into full-blown comedy. One lift
He had
and
a whole
drop,
migraine,
and Rude
bro.
would bounce straight up, grabbing his backside, moving around the ring like he just sat on a hot stove. Sometimes he'd even sprint around holding his butt, making the whole arena laugh.
Whoa. And believe me, Jim.
Yo, it's not... It's not, you know what? Him selling like that never gets old, but it would never be as funny if he wasn't wearing the great auntie leggings, bro. If he wasn't wearing the great auntie 3s with the 80s colorway, it wouldn't be as funny as it is, man. But I love Rick Rude, man. RIP to him, man.
You want to see what that feels like.
I'll pass. I'll take your word for it. Atomic drop. Sending Rude in.
Oh, man.
Oh.
He's on his
And who could forget Devon Dudley? Devon didn't just
Oh,
sell
yeah.
chair shots, he turned them into full-blown seizures. After getting cracked with a chair, Devon would flop on the mat, convulsing, twitching, rolling his eyes back like he was being electrocuted.
Yo, watching Devon Dudley sell stuff is kind of trauma for me, bro. Just a little bit. Give me a little PTSD, because if you grew up probably in the 90s and earlier than that, then whenever you got whooping, when you got a whooping by a foreign object, if you get whooped the right way, you ended up like this every single time. You try to shake and kick the pain out and it won't go nowhere. So you just sit there suffering in the middle of the floor or whatever after you got in trouble, bro. This is trauma inducing right here, bro. It is. I've been through a lot.
Pure cartoon energy.
Dude, like it felt like you got smacked by Raiden, bro. I don't know how it is. And for some reason, your body instantly tries to do something to escape the pain. And it don't go nowhere, man. It don't go. It's here to stay. Nah, I never did that before, bro. A whooping's never turned me into a whole octopus. This man turned into Squidward.
Heath Slater took a clothesline from JBL and sold it like his body was trying to escape the building. JBL swings, boom, and Slater goes head first into the mat. And the best part, even JBL couldn't hold it in. He looked down, saw the madness, and cracked a smile. When your oversell is so good it breaks the guy who hit you, that's elite tier bumping.
Ew. He turned into the Incredibles logo.
When everyone thought we were finally getting Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania 40, the internet basically rioted. But instead of going to war, they actually teamed up, taking on Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Then chaos happened. Roman accidentally speared The Rock, and that's where it got hilarious. The Rock shut his eyes tight, screamed like he'd been stabbed, and clutched his gut like he just took a Mortal Kombat finisher. It teased the dream match.
Hey, when you was younger and you didn't want to go to school so you could sit home and watch cartoons, like you was trying to like watch like Digimon and stuff, when you wanted to fake like the stomach ache was that bad, this is what you did. This is what we tell your mom your stomach hurt, you got to do all this. You can sit at home, watch Arthur, watch Reading Rainbow, whatever the case may be, bro.
But honestly, that oversell stole the whole segment.
Nobody sells like a kid who don't want to go to school, bro. I promise you.
Dino Morella gave us another classic, but this time it was JTG who stole the show. During JTG's final WWE match on Superstars in 2013, he faced Santino and ate a Cobra strike. But instead of just taking the hit, JTG sold it like he had been poisoned. Full body spasms, wild eyes, delayed collapse, turning the already ridiculous Cobra into an Oscar-worthy moment.
That's when you go to sleep at night with your neck in the wrong position. You got to wake up every day and turn into Batman, or you got to turn your whole body to look at people. Yeah, this is crazy. He sold that, man.
If you want glitch moments, Triple H has one of the greatest. During a tag match, Triple H climbed the turnbuckle ready to end it, but Orton hit him with a sudden kick to the jaw, and Triple H just stood there, frozen, not for a few seconds, for over a minute. Meanwhile, Shawn Michaels stood nearby, frantically waving his arms like he was trying to reboot him. Eventually, Triple H finally walked a few steps and dramatically collapsed.
That's how you look. That's how people look when they trying to go pee and they half sleep. That's how they be standing up.
Like he just shut down. One of the most unintentionally hilarious moments ever.
Kind of look like something else too, but I ain't gonna talk about that. This ain't the channel
Cedric
for that.
Alexander taking the Claymore from Drew McIntyre. The second that boot hit, Cedric launched himself into a full flip, twisting in midair like gravity didn't exist. McIntyre himself said that was the best sell he'd ever seen for that move, and the crowd, they demanded a replay immediately. Another unforgettable sell, WrestleMania 18, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Scott Hall. The match itself was nothing special, but the ending? Austin hit Hall with a stunner, and Hall barely moved. So Austin fired up and hit a second stunner, and this time Hall launched himself into the air like he got hit by a grenade. That one move made up for the entire match and became one of the funniest WrestleMania finish bumps ever. And speaking of hilarious oversells, Batista, usually known for keeping things serious, had one of the funniest flops of his career during the build-up to his I Quit match with John Cena. During a beatdown segment, Batista and Sheamus were destroying Cena when suddenly Mark Henry stormed out to make the save. Henry barely shoved Batista, and Batista launched himself backwards, stumbling and crashing down like he'd been run over by a truck. It wasn't a punch, it was a simple push, and Batista sold it like he got hit with a cannonball.
Yeah, he did. I mean, that's how you react when someone push you and you trying to get a lawsuit. I mean, you trying to sue, that's how you react, or if you trying to draw a foul in the NBA or something.
Moment turned into accidental comedy, and the crowd definitely caught it. Over in the Mixed Match Challenge, Rusev gave us another oversell masterpiece. R-Truth lands a basic punch, and Rusev reacts like he just took a KO from a heavyweight boxer.
He practicing for the Elden Ring live action movie, bro.
Rolling across the floor, selling it like he had no control over his body. It was beautiful ridiculousness. And then there's Lio Rush, back on Raw in 2019 when Braun Strowman was absolutely destroying anything that moved. Lio Rush found himself in the wrong place at the wrong time. Braun finally caught him during a tag match, and what followed was pure destruction, but with bonus comedy. Lio didn't just sell the slams. He sold like his entire soul was getting ejected from his body. Every throw had Lio flailing midair, flipping, convulsing, like he was possessed. At one point, Lio even had foam at the mouth, making it look like Braun hit him with an exorcism instead of a wrestling move. It wasn't just bumping, it was full horror movie possession selling. And speaking of insane reactions, Ricochet deserves his flowers too. During an episode of Raw in October 2019, Ricochet was facing Drew McIntyre when Randy Orton stormed in and hit him with an RKO out of nowhere. And Ricochet, he didn't just take it, he spiked himself straight on the top of his head. No slow fall, no roll, just a brutal vertical landing that made fans' jaws drop. It looked so insane.
I remember that, and I hate when people land on their neck like that in wrestling, man. It's just too easy for something to go wrong. It'll change your whole life. It was funny, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, but I know when I was a kid, if I saw this, I'll be dying laughing. When I got older, I'm just like, nah, it's not. It's funny, but that's scary at the same time.
Saying that for a second, people thought he might actually be hurt. But in classic Ricochet fashion, it was just a ridiculously good sell.
McIntyre looking.
The RKO don't even put you in a position to do that, bro.
Shawn Michaels has a long history of turning regular moves into over-the-top performances. One notable moment happened on November 17th, 1996 during Survivor Series. While trying to leap off the ropes, HBK got caught with a kick from Psycho Sid. And of course, Shawn didn't just take the hit. He amplified it like he got shot out of a cannon, flipping and flopping in a way only Shawn Michaels could. Fast forward to SummerSlam 2005, and Michaels delivered one of the most infamous oversells ever in his match against Hulk Hogan. What was supposed to be a dream match quickly turned into a passive-aggressive masterpiece. Every punch and slam Hogan threw, Michaels treated like he'd been hit by a freight train. Hogan was visibly pissed, and honestly, it made the whole match even more unforgettable.
Locks up and proves it. based on that exchange. Michael's being elevated.
Speaking of unforgettable, The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin built an entire trilogy off legendary matches, but it was The Rock selling that gave it extra spice. Anytime Austin hit a stunner, The Rock would oversell like his life depended on it.
He did.
Flipping, bouncing, flying across the ring. It wasn't just dramatic, it was entertaining perfection. The Rock even admitted on Twitter that he and Austin used to bet cases of beer on how ridiculous he could make the sell look. Worth
every time he got Stone Cold Stunner, he ended up doing that move from You Got Served, man. That's crazy. And this makes you wonder if he was auditioning for Hollywood. You know, majority of the times he was selling that Stone Cold Stunner, because this man,
Eagle beer.
Wow! Austin got the stunner. This is a right. The stunner. Austin got the stunner. I got a stunner at WrestleMania.
And when talking about theatrical
He can't do that
falls,
now, though.
Ric Flair is untouchable. The Flair flop was his signature. Take a hit, stagger around cluelessly, then crash face first into the mat like someone pulled the plug. Flair's dramatic falls weren't just funny. They became part of his character's legacy, making even basic matches endlessly entertaining.
he walked all the way out there.
Where's the respect, JR?
This man tried to go to the locker room and passed out.
And speaking of hilarious sells, Dolph Ziggler's performance against
Oh
Goldberg
yeah,
at
the
SummerSlam
goat at selling, bro. Nobody better.
2019 does
Imagine if he wrestled Hulk Hogan. You thought he was pissed during that Shawn Michaels match. Dolph Ziggler would have had this man blowing a head gasket.
deserves a special shout out. Ziggler didn't just take a spear, he launched himself across the ring like he'd been obliterated. Every single move Goldberg hit, Ziggler made it look 10 times worse. Bouncing, flipping, clutching his ribs in agony. It turned what was supposed to be a quick squash into a full-blown Ziggler highlight reel. Nobody sells destruction better than Dolph. Nobody. Finally, you can't talk about hilarious oversells
Finger poke of
without
doom.
talking about the infamous Finger Poke of Doom. January 4th, 1999, WCW Monday Nitro. Hollywood Hogan barely tapped Kevin Nash with a single finger to the chest, and Nash dramatically collapsed like he'd been shot. Hogan pinned him effortlessly. Became one of the most infamous oversell moments.
Now, if you kid watching this show, if you a kid watching this video, here's a tip. If your parents hear you and your little brother or little sister, older brother, older sister arguing, if they tap you like this, you fall like Kevin Nash did. That's how you get them in trouble. You sell it so they can get in trouble and get a whooping or whatever y'all get nowadays. I don't know. Timeouts from tablets or something. I don't know what happens nowadays. But yeah, that's how you do it.
The wrestling world will never forget. Overselling might not always be part of the script, but these moments prove that when wrestlers go all in, the results are unforgettable. Whether it's flying, flopping, or freezing mid-match, they made sure we'd be laughing about it for years. If you loved this trip down wrestling's wildest oversells, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop your favorite ridiculous sell in the comments.
I know Ricochet's in AEW, but he got to be up there as far as one of the greatest sellers of all time. Stuff that he be doing outside of him landing on that neck was ridiculous. And I miss Cedric Alexander, man. You know, it just makes me miss 205 Live. But anyway, which one was the craziest oversell ever in this video? If there's other oversells that you can think of, let me know in the comment section. Hopefully you guys had as much fun as I did reacting to this video. Hopefully you guys have a great day. Salute, peace. Have a good one.